having a good evening?
We think elemental weapons should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
Good to see you.
We think elemental weapons should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
So non-elemental weapons won't be of much use, huh? Hunters, you got that? Keep an eye on those horns. You should be able to figure out which elements are effective.
Your elemental and abnormal status attacks are having no effect. I think you've got Dragon Blood.
elements.
The horns are broken. Doesn't look like it can shift to fire active mode for now.
Alatreon's readying a big attack. Get your healing items ready. You need to suppress Alatreon's power using elemental weapons. down in history.
I know you've been working hard out there.
Man, I hadn't opened up World in a while. When I opened up World again, I looked at all my items and my builds and stuff, and I was like, wow, I really got to clean these up. So I spent a little bit of time recently cleaning them all up. Now everything is like nice and concise, sorted.
We think
I don't know, a
elemental
bunch of
weapons
extra
should be
builds
able
that I
to
don't
shut
know
down
what they are.
Alatreon's powers.
Or I know what they are, but I'm just like,
So non-elemental
had like
weapons
5
won't be of
different
much use, huh?
variations of the same build,
Hunters, you got
trying
that?
things. Big alt tab. Kind of sucks that I alt tab there. Once when I alt tab, it'll draw my weapon when I go back in. GOG. Oh my GOG.
If you keep an eye on those horns, you should be able to figure out which elements are effective.
Yeah, the new Ardean customizations will go a little bit crazy, Lumen. Kinda looking forward to that. Oh, don't mind that. I was reading. I wonder if the Fulgur Anjanath is going to be the best for us. Affinity? Maybe. I didn't really think about that. That affinity value is going to change. It won't be 5% anymore. Like right now, I really like using Critical Eye for.
I think you've got dragon blood.
Kind of depends. With the Fulgur Anjanath, the hammer can use max might more efficiently. Not that I really like using max might on the hammer at all. But maybe if we get 2 points of the affinity and it gives us 20% affinity, then we could replace the critical eye with something. Like the new charge up. Kind of depending on how good that new charge up is going to be. Alright, yeah, no worries, Digi. If you gotta log off, go watch some TGC. I'll catch you later.
This is the only time you can break its horns.
You never text me? I just talked in the Discord earlier today. Did you text me? I didn't know. I feel like I'm not gonna get my Ellie topple this time. Yeah, I saw that in the patch notes. I'm not really running any builds that have a maxed out critical element or have a maxed out element on them. It might be stronger. Like, our spinning bludgeon hits pretty strong. with the elemental modifier, with the 2.5 elemental modifier. But I don't necessarily like the difference between an elemental build and a raw build. I feel like it's only about maybe 40 damage on that. I feel like I spin for like 120 if it's not using a, or if I'm using an elemental build, and then like 90 to 100 if I'm not. I don't really know if it's going to make a big difference.
Alatreon's readying a big attack. Get your healing items ready.
I'm just playing these runs out even though the elemental topple doesn't happen often.
You need to suppress Alatreon's power using elemental weapons.
So yeah, it's like if you're only gaining, like let's say you gain 40 from using elemental and then you spin 5 times, that's like 200 damage on your spins. And I don't know how much damage you're losing on your raw hit if you go like an elemental Ardean loadout, or be like it'd be like you're losing like plus 20 attack if you're running full element versus full I guess it's more than 20 attack now. Yeah, I think it has to have at least an elemental hit zone value of 30 for it to be worth it. Yeah, I think GOG will have good hit zones actually. I hope it's kind of like Fatalis where it has like some ridiculous hit zones on the chest and the hammer doesn't have to hit the head all the time, because it looks like the head is going to be lifted up off the ground quite a little bit. I kind of hate monsters like that lift their head up. I might die here. Oh yeah, I'm dead for sure. It'd be cool if GOG had like a 70 hit zone value for the blunt weapons on the chest, and then like, I don't know, maybe 75 on the head or something. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like he was a really big monster. I think in the older games he was pretty big too. I've seen some videos getting posted recently of people hunting it. People went back to the old games and hunted it a little bit. That's gonna be a really slow run.
Oh, wow, you did it! This hunt will go down in history.
Yeah, I think on Jin Dahad, you probably want to use Evade Extender 3. I was having kind of a difficult time. I was playing a Hunting Horn, though, until I slotted in Evade Extender 3 specifically. Like, 2 was not enough for me, because it would do these AoEs, and like, let's say I commit to an action where I'm trying to hit one of the arms, like, and you only have enough time to do one roll before you get out of the AoE. So 2, I found that 2 was not enough. That was kind of the conclusion I came to when I was hunting Jin recently. I was doing some solos on it a while back, and I was like, should I be running 3? And ultimately I decided that, yeah, I thought 3 was the best. So if I'm doing Hammer, I'm probably going to be playing with Evade Extender 3 on it. And something else to think about is once you get the Jin Dahad armor, because some of that stuff will give you the like Frostblight where it freezes you in place, you should be able to proc it pretty easily on the like when you're fighting Jin Dahad, and it gives plus 25 attack for 1 minute, which is an insane amount of attack for level 2 bonus. So Jin Da Claws. Jin Da Claws. Yeah, hitting the front arms and the hind legs is definitely the way to go. His head is all over the place. I haven't really watched any speedruns or done any solo on it myself with the hammer. Like, I mean, like I soloed it on hammer, obviously, because I beat the whole story and I've done some like deco farming and stuff like that. But I mean, like, I didn't like develop a proper like play style for soloing it yet. So I don't know how the AT Jin Dahad fight is going to play out. Like,
Shut down Alatreon's powers.
you get those free wounds when you topple it, and I feel like with the Hunting Horn, what I was doing is I would go in and then I would do a performance and an encore, and then I would take the wound to build up some songs for free. And I wonder with Hammer if it's like the same idea where it's like you want to go in and then you want to do a combo, and then you want to take the like free wound that appears on the head or on the like on the top of his back or whatever.
If you keep an eye on those horns, you should be able to figure out which elements are affected. time it can break its horns. This weapon's control over the elements.
The horns are broken. It doesn't look like it can shift to fire active mode for now.
Oh, this ledge. I'm consistently getting hit on that when it does that sequence specifically. I would roll a little bit too early for it. I want to try the insect glaive again. I want to try the insect glaive again after they changed it. I tried all the weapons, and that was the only one I really felt like I had an issue with. And I think it came down to how the inputs were and how the weapon kind of played, so I'm curious to see if it plays a little bit nicer now that they have the changes in place. Oh, hey, let's go. I got the elemental top wall. Alright.
Alatreon's readying a big attack. Get your healing items ready.
I think I'm supposed to be doing a different combo during the elemental top wall. I think I'm supposed to do back-to-back overhead combos on it.
Wow, you did it! This hunt will go down in history.
The hammer design? You mean the one I'm using right now in game? I actually really like this hammer. I only started to like it after I was using it recently. It has like spikes that expand when you do a level 3 charge on it, and it has like a thruster on the back of it. I like the weapons that do something, like have some animation when you're charging up your levels. You're leveling up your charges, whatever. I wonder if the Gogmosios weapons are gonna change, like if the designs are gonna change. Or if we're just gonna keep the same Ardian ones that we have. They better give us new animations for it. Or not new animations, but new skins for it. I'm gonna pull up the showcase video real fast. I wanna take a look at the bonuses. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go and find the thing where it has the new GOG weapons. Where is it? Right here? Okay, right here. Okay, so the sharpness doesn't change. And it doesn't show it, so I don't know if we're getting another sharpness thing. But element goes from 50 up to 90. And it looks like we can get at least 3 of these EX boosts. I'm assuming EX is the most. Right? Because we go from, like, the steps must be like 5, 6, 8, 10, right? Like, if it's like this, affinity 1 equals 5%, and then affinity 2 equals 6%, 8%, and then affinity EX equals 10%. I certainly value crit more than most people. I think that critting is really important. I think that when you don't crit, it's kind of makes it really inconsistent. Also, crits are a lot of your damage when you're using crit boost. So it's like anytime you don't crit on a big hit, you're losing like 200 to 300 damage on that one hit. And the thing about affinity is like there's only so many sources of it. You know, you've got critical eye, latent power, weakness exploit, max might, and now the augments on the hammer and stuff like that. So an agitator too. It's kind of hard to come by. So it might be more valuable on the weapon now that we can get more of it. To just, if you just take 1 point, because now 1 point of affinity boost EX is equal to 2 points that we have currently. And I've seen there is a hammer player that really likes to run affinity on his weapons and stuff. I'm assuming that's because he doesn't like, or he wants to crit all the time as well. I think the current elemental cap is like 815. But there's no sharpness bonus level. Yeah, I don't know about that either. It's plus 30. Here, I'll let it play for a little bit. Affinity boost, attack boost. Oh, attack boost is plus 12. Wait, but let me go back a screen. But affinity boost is plus 10. Okay, I just realized that. Maybe that's just on dual blades? Because dual blades, look, it has this elemental boost EX plus 50, and then on the hammer, elemental boost EX plus 90. Huh. That's interesting. Do they have anything else about that? I don't think they ever show an attack boost 3. Do they? No, they don't. I like how they show this Anja's Will and Lord's Soul. That's going to be a bonus a lot of people want. I'm busting out the calculator. Alright. So previously you could get plus 20 affinity if you wanted 1 sharpness. Now you could get 40. So crit eye 4 is given 21, and then plus 8. Can you get multiple EXs of the same? They also don't show multiple EXs of the same thing, do they? I don't know. It looks like you might be able to select which ones you want to level up. can also amend. I mean, you might have to re-roll these again. They might end up having people re-roll their Ardean bonuses. Because these are so much stronger than the ones on the left. Like here's an example. They've got affinity EX, affinity 2, 3 and 2. So that would give 24 affinity. So let's say you have attack boost EX 12 plus say you get an attack boost EX and an attack boost 3, 20. So this is the value of the attack boost that you would have right now if you had 4 attack boost, like 4 AB, 1 sharpness. And you could get that with 24 affinity too, which would basically replace critical eye, which means that you could run a charge up combo deco and a focus deco, and a focus on your charm, on your talisman, if you wanted to run charge up and focus at the same time. I'm assuming that people that are using focus want to use the charge up, because when you're using the focus, what that says to me is that you want to use the charging attacks more. So I think the focus and charge up builds will kind of synergize with each other. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem a little bit busted in a good way. Like here this guy has 2 affinity 3s and an affinity 2. So it still gives you 24 affinity, which is still 3 more than Crit Eye currently has. And I'm hitting cap. I'm hitting 101 affinity with 1 point of latent power. It'd be nice if I could get rid of latent power. If I get rid of latent power, then I'll be sitting at 95% affinity, which is pretty decent. I still prefer to be at 100, but 95 isn't bad either. And then with the weapon slots too, or the armor slots too, rather. Yeah, it might depend on the build. Like elemental builds might not use charge up, but then raw builds, you might want to use it more. I hate latent power, it's so inconsistent. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, when I'm soloing, I use it for like Fatalis, and yeah, sometimes you just don't get hit. When you want to, and that can make it a little bit inconsistent.
We think elemental weapons should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
I'm not gonna reset for these like alt tab
weapons won't be of much use,
input issues.
Hunters, you got that?
Like latent power can be consistent if you get hit right at the start of the hunt and you have a good timing for it, but yeah, otherwise it's like very conditional. That's one of the reasons I don't like full latent builds. I like latent power and like 1 or 2 points. It takes me to 100% affinity when I can time it. Like in my arc belt run, there's like kind of a specific strategy I'm using around the timing of it to get it so that it doesn't proc off the damage, it procs off the time. And then I'm using the mantle, the corrupted mantle for the 10% affinity at the start of the hunt. So I don't have to worry about it because the timing of latent power coming up is right when the corrupted mantle comes down. So there's only like a 15-second period where it's not giving me, where I'm not at 100% or like 95 affinity. That was kind of the thought I had around affinity in that run.
Your elemental and abnormal status attacks are having no effect.
That is in the
I
corner.
think you've got dragon blight.
Okay, I'm splashed. Oh, I'm dead for sure. Yeah, Fatalis you can proc it really easily. Like, I'll give an example of Great Sword. Like, on a Great Sword on Fatalis, you almost always are gonna do a True Charge Slash on the cone, and which means that you're always gonna get hit by the explosion that it drops afterwards. So that pretty much guarantees that after you do 2 True Charge Slashes on the cones that you're gonna have your latent power up. That's just for Great Sword. Other weapons, they just stand in the flame that happens beforehand. Like when you're running into the cone. Not running into the cone directly, but you like kind of stand on the side of it and then you get hit up by it a couple times. And then if you do that again, then you'll get your latent power up. And that's the general strategy around getting your latent power up in that fight. I don't think people use latent power on this fight. I'm not using it. I haven't seen other runs using it. Actually, that's a lie. I might be using it on my Great Sword build for this. I'll have to check. It's been a while since I did a Great Sword TA wiki, and I think it was on my other character.
Hunter, healing items ready.
Maybe I should have kept on attacking there. I have no idea how close it was to elemental topple.
You need to suppress Alatreon's power using elemental weapons.
What weapon do I use for this run? You mean for what, Alatreon TA Wiki runs? I usually use the hammer or greatsword on this one. Check my greatsword builds after this and see if I have one. I haven't done a greatsword solo on this in a really long time. Like probably over a year now. I'm gonna get an icicle dropped on me right there. Oh, you mean for the hammer? Yeah, it's a layered weapon. Sorry, I'm using the Safi. So my weapon is kind of like those new the new Ardian weapons, where it's like you can see I've got 2 sharpness levels on it, level 5 sharpness, and then I've got level 6 attack, level 5 attack, and then I've got the Velkhana's divinity, and then I've got instead of having a 4 pieces of armor, I've got the Velkhana armor bonus on my weapon, and then I've got 3 pieces of Velkhana armor, and then 2 pieces of the Fatalis armor, so I can get Agitator up to level 7. So we'll probably have builds that kind of look similar to this now in Wilds, right? Because you'll have the 1 armor bonus, and then we'll have 3 pieces of one set and then 2 pieces of another set. So the sets that I think that are kind of strong, just in general, not really for Hammer specifically, I think that this Regio set can be strong with the buffed up Adrenaline. I think that the 2-piece Odogaron set is strong. I think the two-piece Jinda Hod set is strong. Maybe the Dosha Guma set is strong. I don't know if it is or not. For offsetters, like, Hammer can offset a ton. So,
Hey.
yeah. Yeah, the Ardean weapons are really similar to Safi in the fact that they have this kind of sharpness stuff going on with it. I don't know if I have any other weapons. Like, let me check first. That are like elemental based. Like maybe my charge blade is. I don't recall. Oh wait, this is a Kiar one. Oops. Let me check a different one. Kiar. No. What is this? Safi Dreambuster, Long Gun Lance? Well, the Ardean's weapon system doesn't have slot upgrades. Yeah, worth a try. Like I definitely didn't spend the time to like min-max my non-main weapons out here on other things. I do have some. Guess I have this Volcano one. Volcano Greatsword, but that's not the one I was gonna show. Volcano. A second, let me change characters. Alright, so this is like the standard Greatsword TA wiki build for Alatreon. It looks like it has latent power 2 in it. It's at 20% affinity. Agitator gives you... What does the Agitator give you again? Plus 10? So 2 points of latent power, you get up to 50% affinity, and then you have weakness exploit, which gives you 100% on the fully weak parts. I haven't done this hunt in a while. I'm actually gonna do one attempt on it, just for fun here. I don't remember the punishes or anything. So don't shame me too hard for not knowing this matchup anymore. It's been a long time. Evening Star? Oh right, I guess my characters have different... I guess I did them on different days, so one of my characters has Dawn of the Death Star and one of them has Evening Star.
We think elemental weapons should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
So non-elemental weapons won't be of much use, huh? Hunters, you got that?
forgot if this was like a 5 slap hunt or what.
If you keep an eye on those horns, you
If
should be
anybody
able to
knows,
figure
let me
out
know.
which
Am I supposed to
elements are
slap
affected.
this thing 5 times at the start? Forgot. Oh my goodness, I'm so used to focus mode, I tried to turn on focus mode. Alright, so now I've got latent power up, so that's a good source of my affinity here. I think I'm supposed to slinger shot that. Nice. This cart brought to you by Ledge.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
This is the only time you can break its horns. Disrupt its control over the elements.
Your elemental and abnormal status attacks are having no effect. I think you've got Dragon Lord. The horns are broken. It doesn't look like it can shift to ice active mode for now.
This has to be like one of the easiest matchups out of all of the endgame matchups. I mean, really. It's so straightforward.
Alatreon's readying a big
Alright.
attack. Get your healing items ready.
It's our time pretty slow. Haven't done this in forever. Is fire active Alatreon better
Need to
for
suppress
GS?
Alatreon's power using elemental weapons.
Yeah, I think Dawn of the Death Star is the preferred one. I'm fighting the Evening Star on it right now. I swear I had this build on Sin somewhere though. I was a little bit surprised when I looked at my builds. I couldn't find it there right away. Maybe it's on the back, like on the side. Or put some other builds. Oh, it wasn't enraged. I chopped out of this guy.
Wow, you did it!
Nice. Yeah, I haven't done this one in forever. I feel like the punishes are all really kind of obvious, though. It was fun. It was a fun hunt. Yeah, I think this hunt is definitely less prone to like RNG than Fatalis is. Fatalis has like 2 coin flips at the start of the second phase and the start of the third phase in the TA wiki rules that just make it really awful to fight if you're aiming for like a super fast time, depending on how many attacks it does at the start of the phases. So yeah, that can kind of be a detriment to people who want to try and get into it if they're like aiming for a super fast time. Then they have the epiphany that, oh, it can do like 7 attacks in a row and each of those attacks can take quite a bit of time. Then they then get discouraged easily because it's like you're just having a coin flip and pray it just comes down right away. So yeah, I got it. Alatreon doesn't really have that. Like it goes up, it does its flying phase, and then it comes down. And it is doing like kind of a set amount of attacks or attack sequences while it's flying. So it's not too terrible. It's not too bad.
I've been waiting for you.
And Fatalis' flying phase is way worse than Alatreon's. Like Alatreon, you can punish most of these things while it's flying, but Fatalis is like, it's just gone. It's just in the atmosphere, stratosphere, flying like so far away from you. There is no punishing it.
Yeah!
I had a decent run on this earlier today, not on stream. I was just kind of playing around, so I was hoping I would get something fast here.
Elemental weapons should be able to shut down
Oops.
Alatreon's
Oh,
powers.
I'm gonna reset this. Alt tab, I want to start my recording.
Ooh, hi.
Yeah, the worst part about Fatalis is the wiki is the flying phase for sure.
We think elemental weapons should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
So non-elemental weapons won't be of much use, huh? Hunters, you got that? Should be able to figure out which elements are effective.
So there's something about this hunt, like if you get your KO with an upswing, then you can't, oh Jesus, ledge. Then you can't do the like 1-2 combo before the Big Bang combo. You have to do a side smash in the Big Bang combo, or else your Big Bang combo finisher won't land. And it has to do with the animation time on the upswing.
I think you've got dragon blood.
So yeah, if you get the KO with the upswing, then you can't really get a full Big Bang combo with the 1-2 at the start. So I think the way to do it is to plan out your KO so that you're getting your KO with a brutal charged Big Bang, like I did right there. And then you should be able to get your Big Bang combo with the like full 1-2 at the start. Just an observation I had. no. I blame that ice pillar thing. I would have been in the right position if that wasn't there.
This is the only time you can break its horns. Disrupt its control over the elements.
The horns are broken. It doesn't look like it can shoot fire at them for now.
You know, I rolled there. I rolled there to try to avoid getting hit. So I'm on evade window 1, it's like I get hit a lot here. There. It's gonna enrage and the rock is right where I need to roll to.
Alatreon's readying a big attack. Get your healing items ready.
How long does it take to get my muscle memory back when I'm playing World? After I've been playing Wilds? Maybe just a few hunts. Like I was there right now, I'm pretty much there. I know what you mean though. After playing Wilds or Rise and then coming back to World, it certainly is a big change. There was a couple times I kept on trying to focus mode things, and I was like, oh wait, no, that doesn't work in this game. Luckily, most of the weapons are relatively the same between World and Wilds. But Rise weapons play completely different. This ledge is such bait. Seems like it would be good for a hammer, but it's not. It can be. It can also screw you over like that.
Oh, wow, you did it! This hunt will go down in history.
Thought I was gonna get the elemental topple. The thing about this build that I'm using right now is that if you do get the elemental topple, it usually happens like right before the Eschaton Judgment. So it's a really tight window if you're gonna get the elemental topple or not. I think you have to be like pretty accurate the whole way through. I don't think you can really whiff too much. I haven't done the math for like how much can you whiff, but it seems like if you whiff, I don't know if I had to guess, like maybe 6 attacks or something like that, that it's just kind of GG. You're not gonna get the elemental topple before the Eschaton Judgment. I'm gonna switch to Fatalis for a hunt here. I did a Fatalis solo. I got 1134 on it recently. I felt like that was pretty decent considering I hadn't done it in quite some time. But then a lot of my other runs were over 12 minutes, which is not really what I'm shooting for.
Breaking its head should be effective in weakening its powerful breath attack.
Make use of the ballistae and panic.
this is kind of bad. I would have punished that at the start of that sweeping attack there, but that pillar is in the way. I think I would have gotten hit by the flame. It didn't want to give me one more cone there. Oof. Oof. One more cone there and the head breaks. That would have been a fast phase 1 too. That would have been like 3x to the first head break. What a robbery. Should have attack RNG robbed.
Around the fort to knock down Vitalis.
barricade.
Alright, this is the test. Can I hit the upswing here? The start of this is, I think my positioning is good. Nope. No. I was a little bit too far out. Thought I was good. I was between the thing and the thing.
Another gigantic flame. Head for Base Hallis's position.
Yeah, I don't think any amount of praying is gonna make it come down. It feels like it. It never answers my prayers when it needs to. I'm gonna do something a little bit risky here.
Another gigantic flame. Head for Base Hallis's position.
It's kind of a nice charge triple fireball.
Head for Base Hallis's position.
I think I was a little bit late on my timing. One of those, something there. I had to skip the night scene. Could have died for sure. I think this is gonna be death by flying, by flop on a ship. There it is. 11:27. I was a little bit faster than the one I did earlier, but not by much.
You've rescued this world from a living nightmare.
This run would have been a lot nicer if it gave me another cone at the start of the, or at the end of the third phase, or first phase rather. Then I would have gotten a head break at the right time. Show off my build here so people can see. And then going back to what Lumen was saying earlier about Leighton, like, even for a hammer, it doesn't matter too much. If I get hit when, in the first phase, like, I purposefully take one tick of the fire damage from the downward spout to proc coalescence, and then also it has a high tendency to cone after that. And then I try to take like one tick of the fire on the cones if I don't have latent power up to try to start the process of getting my health to reach the threshold for latent power to proc. But what ended up happening was I think I didn't get hit on one of the cones, and then I think I did get hit by like one tick on the next cone, and then I ended up getting hit by the exploding thing that it leaves underneath its mouth, which is good in terms of timing for latent power. And then it did another cone after that, so I was able to get my power charge up, and then I was able to do a side smash overhead 2 upswing and got the head flinch. And that's how like that opening sequence went for me to get coalescence up and to get latent power up in the first phase and within the first like head threshold attack sequence. Here it is, the guild card. Alright, I'm gonna do one more Alatreon, then I'll probably end the stream after that.
Ooh, hi.
That Fatalis is actually pretty well tamed. It gave me a ton of 360s in the third phase, which I appreciated. Even though I think I misplayed on like one of them. The rest of them I did good on. And it gave me like 3 or 4, I think 3? No, 4 charged triple fireballs.
Shut down Alatreon's powers.
That was good phase 3 RNG. It's just unlucky that it gave me some bad phase 1. And I whiffed on the phase 3 opening punish. This always feels bad.
Figure out which elements are affected.
So I think the next hit right here KOs it, yeah. So now I should be able to just roll. Okay, I'm on a ledge, so this doesn't really count, but this is kind of what I was saying before. I think my timing should still be good here. Yeah, you see I can get the finisher off. As long as I get the KO with the brutal charge Big Bang, then I should be fine. get the 1-2 combo off my full KOs. I'll break the rules a little bit, do some ledge spam. Alright, I'm resetting this one. This doesn't count. Do I have all crowns? Yeah. I have all crowns. I still need all crowns on my second character, but it's only like 3 crowns, 2 or 3 crowns I'm missing, so I don't really ever try for it anymore.
Yeah.
If you want to see something really crazy, here, I'll show you. I also have all endemic crowns. Some of these moles took a little bit. I think like these 2 moles took me a while. These other ones I got pretty fast, but these ones took a little bit. So yeah, I've got all crowns on Sin. I've got all crowns, all endemic crowns. I can't wait for the endemic crowns and wilds. I'm gonna get them all again. I see some people, they're like grinding out endemic captures for the leaderboards. Some of those people have caught like 10,000 endemic crowns. It's absolutely insane.
Non-elemental weapons.
I'll restart this so I can get a good record timing on it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have looked at the endemic leaderboards, but some of those people are like, I don't know what they do. Like, they have like 3,500 hours and like tens of thousands of weapon uses, and they caught like tens of thousands of endemics. I don't know how. I don't know how they do it. I would go insane if that's what I was doing. Just running around capturing endemics. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to capture endemics too, but I mostly just capture them when they're convenient. Or if I'm farming the crowns, but outside of that, I don't really...
Hunters, you got that?
I don't really feel the need to go around and capture a ton.
Keep an eye on those horns. You should be able to figure out which elements are affected.
I can't get away with a back roll there. I was standing a little bit too far back. I feel like a back roll isn't even that bad there. Like in terms of positioning. I'm still trying to figure this part out. I got it. Need more practice on it.
Your elemental and abnormal status attacks are having no effect. I think you've got dragon blood.
I needed to move a little bit there so I didn't get hit by the thunder, and then I did that like slow turning step thing. Bad, this is bad animation. I feel like this run is already thrown, like I'm not gonna get my elemental topple in time because I've whipped so much already. How does that hit me? I was running. No, I'm definitely not gonna hit it. Do I want to reset again? Not really. Should round to finish it.
This is the only time you can break its horns. Disrupt its control over the elements.
The horns are broken. It doesn't look like it will shift to fire active mode for now.
Thank you, Storm of Solitude.
Alatreon's ready.
I'm dead for sure here.
Get your healing items ready.
Prepare the cart.
need to suppress Alatreon's power using elemental weapons.
Man, trying to get power charge, that's one thing I do not miss in Wilds. Like, I'm glad I don't have power charge anymore. I don't know about you guys, but how many times have you been hit trying to get your power charge buff up? Because I've been hit like a million times, I think. So yeah, I'm really glad power charge is gone. That animation is so terrible. Oh, this ledge is such a lie. I tried to jump off the ledge there, but it was like not gonna give it to me. It just has an animation where you walk up it but not jump off it.
Wow, you did it! This hunt will go down in history.
Alright, that was the last hunt. I'm a little bit tired now. Fun stream though. It was cool having people come by and talking about the new update. Maybe I'll do some more stream after the GOG update releases, see how people are liking it. Here's the build I'm using. It's the Safi hammer. It's got 1 fire attack on it. Not a ton of element. I feel like if I had a 3rd element, it would be way more consistent. The struggle of power charge is real. Yeah, this time. I had a time that was a lot faster than this earlier, so I was feeling good, but none of the runs I did afterwards were even nearly as close as fast as that one, so I'll keep on working on it. Thanks, Solitude. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Hammer goes bonk. Bye now.